Yeah, man, why the hell is my gun stuck? Damn, bro, come on, man. You weren't even near me. Damn, it wasn't so hard. Oh, for fuck's sake! What the hell, man? God damn! What the fuck is going on with this server? I can't get over there. For the life of me, I can't get over there. It's fucking nuts. I don't think I've ever had this much trouble trying to get over to a fucking... Are you shitting me? Oh my god, they're just everywhere. I can't fucking escape these guys. Here comes the bear, right? Unbelievable. I don't know why I'm having this much trouble. Like, like, playing a, what was I playing? Like even, it's like I said, it's the fucking Dwarf Hunter combo. is the worst. Whereas, like, you know, much simpler, you know, as like a troll hunter or like an orc hunter. Not nearly, not nearly as bad. This is hard as balls right now. Like, fucking hell. Anyway, we're back on Linux, by the way, in case you're wondering. Back on Linux. Yeah, here's where we... They look like... Click on... Never heard of you guide. Watch it. I'm gonna go over here and oh, yeah. Oh, come on, right there behind the tree, motherfucker! Oh, come on, no, come on, man! Damn it. Oh, what the hell? No. Shit! And now I have to run all the way. Damn it. Oh, wait a minute. Do I have that fucking add-on? Just remember, what's that fucking application called? It's... And it's definitely not it. There it is. Found it. Thank God for flat patch. Oh, wait a minute. No. Restream. Oh. Where's that at? What's it? Open. Yep. Alright. That is drawing board. Come on. I don't know if it, like, you're by yourself the whole time, you know? You bitch. It would happen. No. No thank you. Alright. Follow the path. Alright, let's get out of here. This has been so much harder as dwarven hunters. Is that eye for an eye? Company.
Christiana Pine. Safe travels.
I haven't even gotten to the level 10 yet. It's fucking unreal.
Hi.
Here there. Up with you. Watch, get her back. What's on your mind? Keep your feet on the ground.
It took 2 hours to get to level 9. Holy shit. It's unreal. Oh yeah. Oh, they're both there. Hold on. Oh, it's in there. Okay. Alright, I'm going the other way. One of these. Where did he come from?
I can't cast that yet. Still recharging.
Oh, come on.
Ready
Oh, no, fuck, I'm hurt.
isn't ready yet. Have a target.
Nah, I gotta go in there and fucking do the cannonball run. Why are there so many of these things around here? Nope, alright, I'm running. I'm gonna run in. Okay. See how far I can make it. All I gotta do is just run in and make it. Ah, you son of a bitch. Yeah, there's your answer. Not very far. Damn, look at them all. Alright, how far do I have to go? Oh, Christ. Right here.
Still recharging. My spell isn't ready yet. I can't cast that yet. Still recharging. My spell isn't ready yet.
Dude, what the hell, man? The fuck?
Still recharging.
Oh no, oh no, oh no. No, 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 come on, man, what the hell? What the fuck you doing this to me?
Still recharging.
Oh, for fuck's sake, I just want to... Oh, no. Are you shitting me right now? Man. Yeah, fucking kidding me, man. I'm done, man. I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this. Why is it so fucking difficult? Like, why is it so bloody difficult right now? And the thing is that it all is, like, the moment you hit level 10 and you get your pet and you get that situated, then you're good to go. Like, after that, it's nothing. It's just these first 10 levels in this zone. It's pure hell as a dwarf hunter. I've done plenty of times. I've done like gnome warlock. I've done a dwarf warrior at one point. Paladin. No, not nearly as bad as it is playing a dwarf hunter. We got a 2 to 5 weapon. I mean, there's problem number one. The weapon is terrible, right? I mean, so there's that. Then there's the gun, which is only a 4 to 9. So it's a combination of weapon damage mainly. Now, granted, I mean, to be fair, this is all my fault to begin with. If you're gonna be real, it is mostly all my fault. I forget what I used to do. I think back in the day I actually used to, like, not even bother leveling in, Plot 1 on, or whatever, Summer. Like, I used to just make the run to the Elwyn Forest and level there. Alright, can we get the, can I get the thing here? Can I? It's not gonna let me do it, nope. Alright. We're done. What a disappointment, huh? I'd rather fucking not at all.
Talk to me. Be good.
Oh, you don't even want to sell. You don't like. I don't even want your shit. You're so fucking bad. Fucking unbelievable.
No. Well met.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that, right? Yep.
Be good.
You know what I might do? Well, fuck it, right? Like I'm gonna. Cause I'm not. I'm stuck. But I don't know what. I don't have any other option. I solved Wizard's brain melt and old god reveal. Okay, sure.
Alone can save you from what is to come.
Okay, it's time to talk about that line, and it's time to talk about N'Zoth. Now, whenever he said that, we just kind of all thought it was more bravado. But here's the deal, it wasn't a bluff. He was telling the truth. I think he knew the Void Lords were coming, and he knew that they would destroy him too. And that's because by the time he said that, the old gods had already long betrayed the Void Lords. Now here's what we thought we knew. Reading Chronicle, we learned that the Void Lords wanted to consume all of reality, but they couldn't manifest in it. They kind of existed outside reality, you know, some H.P. Lovecraft stuff. So what they did is they made the old gods, and they spat them into the Great Dark. And from there, these old gods would consume worlds, and ideally, using that energy, they would then summon in their Void Lord Masters. Which does seem like a simple enough story. But something changed, and that something is the old gods. And we don't even know why. So today what we're going to do is explain how they built this lie over 2 decades. So if recent times have left you feeling not up to date with the lore, or just confused about how, say, N'Zoth and patch 8.3 even ties into the stuff that's going on today, the good news is we made this video for you. The best place to start today's story is actually the story that you can play, and it's in the new lore walking feature. So, we sit down with Joe, and we're brought back to some of our first interactions with Xal'atath. We see ourselves traveling the world, gathering power, gathering artifacts. Then, quite a bit later, in Battle for Azeroth, we've got to gather a new body. We successfully do that. And then comes the Crucible of Storms. Now that's where Xal'atath demands that N'Zoth honors the bargain that the two of them made. Which in a way is a little bit strange. I mean, why is some strange lady who used to be stuck in a dagger, who is now walking around in someone else's corpse, suddenly able to demand things from an old god that was, you know, built up over years and years to be a massive looming threat? Even back then, we knew that there must have been some deal in the past. What's cool is that today, we can actually play through that deal. We can see it happen. We're then transported to a view far back in time to the days of the Black Empire, which is when the old gods ruled the entire planet. And what we see there does change everything. Now, if you just skipped through the quest and you weren't reading the text, you would see the basics. Xalatath, a powerful void entity, has launched an attack. You might know exactly why, but she has been called the Harbinger a whole bunch of the time, so you just assume, as Harbinger of Dimensius. Let's just work with that understanding for now. Obviously, though, she loses. The old gods defeat her, and she gets trapped in the blade. So there you go. Neat story. That's how Xalatath got in the blade. But it's actually the details of that story that really matter. They have huge implications, so let me break it all down for you. Okay, the Black Empire exists. The four old gods essentially cover the entire surface of Azeroth. They haven't corrupted the world yet. Then Xalatath arrives. Of course, on the surface as Harbinger of the Void. Her mission, we assume, is to watch these old gods to ensure that, I suppose, they are doing whatever it is that they're meant to be doing. And at first glance, all looks well, but soon, Xalatath makes a discovery. She discovers that N'Zoth, one of the old gods, has been building something below Ny'alotha. Ny'alotha essentially being his main base of power. And whatever this thing is, it seemingly leaves Xalatath with no choice other than to attack them. And unfortunately for her, she loses. And as punishment, she is bound within the Black Blade. Just before her fate is sealed, she plays a final card. Yeshiraj, one of the old gods, passes judgment on her. He tells Xalatath that she will be eternally sealed, that she will watch the world gain untold power without her. And there's actually a clue in that. Yeshiraj wants the world, Azeroth, to gain untold power, not the Void Lords who we would have assumed Xalatath was serving. And we can infer why, that he is basically taunting her, saying, hey, you will never claim this, or hey, your boss will never claim this. That's when Zal bites back. She calls them pestilence parading as lords, essentially saying that they were mold sent by the Void Lords to weaken Azeroth, but that now they've moved beyond their function. Now, in a way, that's a sick burn, but ultimately, they had way more power than she did, so that's why she ended up in this mess. But she isn't any old void creature, she's Xalatath, and from this she will find her way out. So here's how the logic goes. If each old god can have a goal of its own, then she can just play them against each other. And that is when Xalatath makes her bargain with N'Zoth. You see, the truth of today's video is that Xalatath is actually not the main character of the video. N'Zoth is the main character of the video, because in making that deal with Xalatath, he changed everything. I alone can save you from what is to come. Those words came from N'Zoth, and they were not a lie. They were, in fact, a warning because N'Zoth knew what was coming. You know, he kind of knew Xalatath's plans. He'd at least made some plans with her, and he likely believed that through her, the Void Lords would make their attempt to basically win, which would be bad for him. He also believed that he was the only one who could save us. Okay, now here, I'm going to bring in two old god whispers. One of them is from Il'gynoth. It goes way back. Here's the whisper. He draws strength from the earth, our strength. That's one line. Much later after we heard that line, in the Dragonflight expansion, we returned to the Black Empire. Basically, some time bollocks happened. We ended up back there, and when we were there, we heard another line that shares its pattern. Here's the line. Her dreams sing beneath the surface. Our dreams, our song. Now, when they say our, I believe they mean them, the old gods, not Team Void, not Team Dimensius. I think that's especially obvious in light of Xalatath's initial defeat on Azeroth. We literally see her get defeated and stuffed into a dagger. What these lines are saying then is that Azeroth's earth is theirs, and that they draw strength from it. That as she dreams, she sings their words. It's essentially them saying, hey, we're in deeper than you could have possibly known. Now, with that in mind, let's return to the Crucible of Storms. This is in the Battle for Azeroth expansion, and it's really where the N'Zoth stuff kicks into high gear. It's also when Xalatath returns to the story. So, as we know, Xalatath offers us to N'Zoth. She calls us the opener, the bringer of truths, the torch that lights the way. And she clearly knows that N'Zoth wants us for some reason, so she basically uses us, along with some other things, as a bargaining chip for her freedom. And that leads to an obvious question. Why did N'Zoth want us? Well, to answer that, let's take a look at where N'Zoth then sent us, to the raid version of the Crucible of Storms. But before we went to the raid, he gave us the gift of his own in return for bringing him those various artifacts that we collected along with Xalatath. And this gift was a visual effect present in player characters, and it marks us as his champion. So, now marked as his champion, we then challenge the Crucible. And first, we fight the Restless Cabal. We're told they're N'Zoth's servants who failed to bring him those various artifacts. We of course succeeded where they failed, and in this, we can see that his own servants weren't powerful enough for his plan. He evidently needed someone real powerful, like us. And if we die, we are called unworthy of the Master, which is what we're telling. The final challenge of that raid, though, is Unat. It's big, because he tells us that we will serve or we will die. And as it turns out, he is the one who dies. We are the ones who live. And remember, he said we will serve or we will die. So because we lived, guess what? We're serving. And the way to understand this is simple. Unat's final act, basically, is telling N'Zoth that we are worthy, that we have passed the test. Which then makes you think, worthy or what? Thinking back to the scene with Xalatath and N'Zoth, she didn't just hand us over, she also gave N'Zoth the dagger. Now, the Horde eventually then hands it to Sylvanas, who then cuts a deal with Queen Ashara. And that deal would go like this. The dagger would go to Nethanos. Nethanos would then lure the Alliance fleet over Nazjatar. Ashara would then drain the seas, destroying their fleet. That would be a great victory for the Horde, and in return, Nethanos would give Ashara the blade. So you might wonder then, why does Ashara want the blade? Quite simple, she wants the blade to kill N'Zoth. But hang on a second, if N'Zoth is so smart, so gigabrain, then why did he give the Horde the dagger that would just end up in Ashara's hands when it's a dagger that could kill him? That really seems counter to his goals. As it turns out, very much not the case. That's because Ashara's goal, Xalatath's goal, and N'Zoth's goal are kind of all the same. They want personal freedom. Here's the next bit. Ashara's palace is built atop his
Holy shit!
prison. He wanted out. Ashara wanted to kill him. And it's, you know, special Titan prison. You can't just waltz in there. But remember, N'Zoth sent us through the Crucible of Storms for a reason, to test us. And this is where we come into the picture. We're obviously quite pissed off with Ashara, so both the Alliance and the Horde,
Oh, come on, man, really?
not being fully aware of the things that Sylvanas is up to, we both decide to attack her palace. Which of course is what Ashara was actually counting on. You see, we clear our way through the raid, we then get to her, and she begins the ritual to free N'Zoth from prison. Well, she does it using the Heart of Azeroth's energy, you know, the thing that we had been fueling up, so she kind of plays us there. But what happens next is essential, but it does trip up loads of people. Because look, it's BFA lore, it was all a bit convoluted. So we defeated Ashara, but we were too late. The ritual had already completed. N'Zoth was free, just as he had expected. You see, when Unat said that we were worthy, what it basically meant is, hey, these guys have defeated me. They have passed the test. They will be able to defeat Ashara. So N'Zoth only continued the whole plan with that knowledge in mind, because after we defeat Unat, the Horde player then gets the quest that passes the dagger along to Sylvanas. It then, of course, gets to Ashara. Like, seriously, he was counting the fact that she would try to betray him. Here's why, right? She would only attempt to kill him if she thought she had a really high chance of winning. She wouldn't break the seal and then try to toss a few fireballs at him. So no, she needed to believe she would win. And of course, having the dagger, a dagger capable of housing a super powerful void entity, obviously she thought she would be able to win. And you know what? If we weren't there, she probably would have won. But that's the thing, we were there, we were too strong. By the time the ritual completes, she's basically going unconscious because we've absolutely clobbered her. And because she's unconscious, she cannot use the blade. Meaning that N'Zoth is now free, and the blade that would be able to kill him or imprison him is on Queen Ashara, who is currently lying down on the floor. Of course, N'Zoth then slurps her into a portal. So basically, what we see here in N'Zoth's actions is calculated risk-taking. He estimated that if we could defeat Unat, we'd be able to take on Ashara, and he's right, we're able to beat her. So, let's again think about that line. I alone can save you from what is to come. What was he talking about? And how would that play into his next plan? Because here is where all of that was going. So to understand things, we only need to watch what he would go and do next. And that was to try to summon Ny'alotha into our reality. Now, Ny'alotha was his power base within the Azeroth-spanning Black Empire way back in the day. Though what we did not know is what we just learned in lore walking, that he was also building something underneath Ny'alotha. And remember, whatever that something was, it was enough to make Xal'atath immediately try to attack all the old gods and take him out. Obviously, she fails, but when N'Zoth says, "I alone can save you from what is to come," I think this is what he was talking about, to bring Ny'alotha back, to bring the Black Empire back. And if that we would all only just join him, everything would be great, and we wouldn't go to the Shadowlands. Because, yeah, at the time, we thought the what is to come was the whole jailer thing with the Shadowlands. But then something weird happened. We defeated the jailer. What did he do? He also said we could not survive what was to come. And funnily enough, that then sparked my memory back in the day. I thought, hang on a second, I've heard that before. From Morozond in the Cataclysm expansion. So what's really going on here? Are all of these characters talking about the same thing? The same what is to come? I'd actually say, yeah, it's pretty damn likely. Just that whenever Morozond said that, we thought the old gods served the Void Lords, but we just now know they served themselves. And if you think about all of those instances, 2 of them are directly connected to N'Zoth. And if this seems insane to you, that's completely fine. It actually should. And that's because, unfortunately, I hate to break it to you, you're a human, as am I, and we don't experience time and causality like an old god does. Old gods can see all timelines, all futures. They have a little bit of a problem. They can peer into all these future timelines, but they can't really tell which one is actually going to pass. But luckily for N'Zoth, we actually later gave him the evidence that he would need. Much later on in the Dragonflight expansion, we had to rescue Chromie from the past. Now this took us all the way back to the Black Empire, before the Titans had arrived in Azeroth, so way, way, way back in the day. And when we go there, who do we meet? We meet this, a knowing presence. This is a presence that, based on what it says, I would say is almost certainly N'Zoth. I mean, just think about the name, knowing presence. Then remember how old gods experience time and experience causality. N'Zoth could see all these potential timelines.
Oh, get the fuck out of here.
Defeat him, defeat the jailer, then end up in Thaldraszus, and then go back in time to see him in the Black Empire. Now, from his perspective, up until this point, he could have seen all these different timelines, but by us actually popping up, we confirm for him what direction the true timeline
oh, he's a level 10.
is.
Oh, shit.
That was a whole thing in the canon about what the true timeline is and the Titans, but I'm just going to set that aside for now. It doesn't really matter for today's video. What basically matters is us showing up confirmed to N'Zoth the timeline that would come to pass. And by confirming that, it also confirmed a whole bunch of other things. As he probably knows about the Primal Alliance, about Eridicron, Midnight, the Last Titan. His challenge is simple then. It's to outplay everyone. And to do that by just doing what he always did, which is snatching victory from the jaws of defeat.
Why is this guy so fucking hard?
None other than Xal'atath herself. Way back, pretty much when we first met her in Legion, she said this. But as was so often the case, even defeat ultimately worked in N'Zoth's favor. Now there are many ways he could still be in play. As an example, do you know where the Black Blade is? Like seriously, the Black Blade. When's the last time you saw it? I know it was it being stuck into the carapace of N'Zoth, but where did it go after that? This is a little bit curious because it's a dagger that can contain an absurdly powerful void entity. It fit Xal'atath, why couldn't it fit an old god? Why couldn't N'Zoth hang out and hide out in there until the time is right? But however that does or does not go, there's something hanging over all of this. It may seem like a plot hole, right? Something I'm sure a few of you have picked up. Why would the Void Lords do the old god thing? I mean, seriously, are the Void Lords so stupid that they would send absurdly powerful beings with free will and a lust for power after the ultimate source of power, fully expecting them to just hand it over? No, that's really stupid. Do you know what the real answer is? The real why? It's actually Azeroth. Yeah, if you've been out of the loop, today's video really is the brain expansion meme. But this is the last bit. Trust me, it's been worth it. It's going to be good. So, the War Within's early storyline essentially existed to show us Azeroth is capable of changing the essential nature of a being. That might sound all, wordy, but here's the most obvious version of it. The Thragar. They're the Earthen who turned to Diamond and then rebelled against the other Titanforged who are building something called the World Core around Azeroth. Basically, right? Azeroth got into their heads, gave them sort of free will, they sided with her, became more powerful, and did a little rebellion trying to bust her out of jail. They obviously failed. But here's the thing. We only find out about that via a log left over by one of the Titan Keepers, Arcadus. And in the log, he openly acknowledges that he's not supposed to be saying the things that he's saying, but that yet he feels compelled to say them. So he knows whatever he's saying is basically against protocol. So the question is why? I mean, especially if he is this big Titan-forged thing that exists to serve a very specific purpose from the Titans, beings of order. You know, order. You don't go against them. And that's where it all ties together. The answer is Azeroth. Much like how she was able to change the Earthen into the Thragar and give them free will, guess what? She was able to change a little bit of something in Arcadus, such that he would leave this law, perhaps so that one day eventually someone sympathetic to her cause would find it. And to be clear, these two examples are not the only ones that exist in the War Within expansion. Basically what we see, though, is the changing of thoughtless beings of order to beings that have got free will. So if that can be done to beings of order, why not to beings of void? Why not to the old gods? That would make perfect sense of all of this. The idea that the pestilence sent to conquer Azeroth in the Void Lord's name was harnessed against its master. Because if it had its own free will, it would not have served the Void Lord's purpose, right? So that just doesn't make sense. No, they had to have gained free will on Azeroth. How could that happen? Pretty simply, with Azeroth, which is something we have seen now multiple times in this expansion. And by granting these beings free will, what else happens? Well, ego, personal desire, right? Such a being wouldn't want to complete its mission if that just meant that it would be consumed and destroyed, that it would be discarded. And we also know that of all the old gods, N'Zoth was the smartest one. Now, it may seem a little bit weird that Azeroth would do this, but I want you to think about it from her point of view. Azeroth is trapped in a dream state, right? Just stuck in there. A mind with incomparably vast power, but one that, to use a simple analogy, is still in an egg. Now, if you're a fan of the Dune books, think about Anni Atrocities being able to influence those around her from within the womb. What in that canon is called a preborn. At least for the purposes of this story, Azeroth seems rather similar.
Bro, man, what? How the fuck?
Anything physical, but what she can do is free their minds so that they can then pursue their own goals. And in doing that, she gained what she needed. It simply is time. Time until somehow, eventually, something, one of her children perhaps, is able to rescue her from this horrible waking nightmare lucid dream, you know, her dream, our song, etc., that she has basically been stuck in for a countless amount of time. So, do you think N'Zoth is still in the dagger, or do you think he's dead and gone and we'll never see him? Either way, I hope this video has essentially been able to explain and to lay out all of the weird intersection of the old god lore and the void lore so that it actually makes sense. The context, Xal'atath, the War Within, Midnight, and the Last Titan. I'll say this much, I long for the day where we no longer have got to like untangle and fix all of this lore from, you know, Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands, because look, what Blizzard are actually doing now is incorporating that in a way where it actually works for the current story that they want to tell, and the kind of sidesteps the real shitty things of those two expansions. Definitely a constraint, one that I think they're approaching creatively, which I'm enjoying, but man, I really can't wait until finally I can stop thinking about the jailer. So, on that bombshell, thanks for watching, and if you want to actually learn about what's going on in the next expansion and how the lore has shifted and changed, watch this video next.
Fuck it.
This is my church. This is where I heal my hurts. It's in the world I've become, contained in the hum between voice and drum. It's in change, the poetic justice of cause and effect. Respect, love, compassion. This is my church. This is where I heal my hurts. For tonight, God is a DJ. Poetic justice of cause and effect. Respect, love, compassion. This is my church. This is where I heal my hurts. For tonight, God is a DJ.
What can I get for you? See you soon.
God is a DJ.
From them, NWA, they call me, but I know the MC Ren, AK boy, raised in the jungle and something like Candy Can, proud African, think to my roots, them boys they come like STEM. Lead them go no follow our hustle, regular school them go no seminar, they no reach my level now, ooh, one enemy, pepper them down no chili, when I see red or riggy, ready to die no biggie, they be like oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my, fine get, make a man head boss.
Oh, fuck, was it?
She call it like me, call my spot. Tell me, say she get plenty jollof for pot. Whip out, oh yeah, wow, we no bend down, back on. Some nanja goons in peck, I'm energy like will be free, dead I'm. Energy like will be free, dead I'm. On to the ball, pick your rap guru, ready for war. Ready for war, pick your rap guru, ready for war. Lion paw, onto the ball, pick your rap guru, ready for
Ah.
What can I do for you? See you later.
Hello. Farewell.
What's on your mind? What's on your mind? See you soon.
Hi, how are you? Alrighty then.
What's on your mind? Take that. You got my attention. Up with it. Talk to me.
got my attention.
Oh shit! I didn't know that. The wolf. Okay, the wolf has it. Alright. So... Or... Wolf... Bear. Or 4 bear, wolf. In that order. Alright, now we need to follow... Where we going now? Well, let me sell this shit. Get rid of Unify.
What's on your mind? Be good.
Oh, fuck you. I don't like that. I'm getting rid of it. Fucking lame ass add-on. It's like, I don't even really need it. Hindsight, I'm like, yeah, I don't really need it. Oh god, does this even work? At least it did. Probably won't. Yeah, it's fucked. Alright, that sucks. That might work. And it didn't change the way that. Oh, there we go. That works. Never mind. Bad idea. There we go. And where the hell? Oh. K-pop?
What can I do for you? Safe travels.
Bro, what the fuck going on? Map Kansas? No, bro, what the fuck, man? What the hell? It's all fucked up. It can't do. Okay, what the fuck? Alright, hold on. What the fuck is causing that? Never seen that happen before. Alright. Oh! The fuck? Oh. Tom is, for whatever reason, fucking broken.
What's on your mind? Be good. I'll be back. Welcome.
Yeah. Okay.
づけしよう甘く溶けるメロディー
Hey folks, this is Kalani. Patch 11.2 is almost here, and we actually have an official release date already. Patch 11.2 will go live on August 5th, and the new season starts the same day, so that's going to be our deadline for getting any end of season achievements or goals completed. There are a lot of different rewards being removed as Season 2 comes to an end, even more than usual with the higher milestone achievements for things like dungeons, and the crazy amount of time-limited events that are currently going on. There are also a few things that you can do to best prepare your characters for a faster and easier start in Season 3. So let's go over everything there is to do before patch 11.2 goes live, what we recommend you focus on first, and which activities might not be worth your time. Now before we jump in, be sure to hit up that like button and subscribe so you never miss another video. The first thing everyone will want to get done before the season ends is to pick up the disc belt and fully upgrade it as quickly as you can. If you haven't gotten your belt yet, you want to swing by and see Dagran in Dornagal. He's right next to Bran and the rest of the Delve crew. He should have a quest that sends you into an overcharged Delve. Just follow through those quests and you will unlock the belt. To upgrade the belt, you just need to go back to Dagran and keep completing his quests that reward the Titan memory cards. We'll have one per week, but if you're behind on them, you should be able to pick up and complete them back to back to catch up really quickly. When your belt is item level 701, you're all done. When this video goes up, I believe we're 1 week short of maxing out the belt, so just make sure you fully upgrade the belt as soon as you can on every character that you want to play in Season 3. The main reason why this belt is so important is because the special powers and effects could end up making this belt far more powerful when compared to a normal piece of 701 loot. The Cersei Circlet from patch 11.17 is basically the same kind of deal, and that ring was still the best in-slot item for a lot of classes and specs halfway through Season 2, so if this belt follows suit, it could be very powerful for a lot of classes for a very long time. It's also just a great power boost to help your Season 3 start go as smoothly as possible. It's also not a terrible idea to pick up all of the disc powers and effects while you're at it. Clearing the delves doesn't take very long, and you never know when some powers will get nerfed into the ground and others buffed up to compensate, so the best power could change at any point, and you'll want to be able to swap things around without having to go out of your way to farm some random delve during Season 3. Now with patch 11.2 introducing a new season, there are also a whole bunch of seasonal rewards that will be going away or will become unobtainable after Season 2 ends. To start with, let's look at delves. With the start of Season 3, we'll get a new delve mount and customization options for it, so if you want to collect all of the options for the Delver's Gobtrotter, you'll want to get that done before Season 2 ends. This includes working your way through the seasonal track and purchasing all the schematics from the delve vendors. The Gobtrotter schematics are still available on the PTR for 11.2, but they will cost you significantly more resonance crystals, so you should buy them up while they're much cheaper. Another great reward to pick up from the seasonal track if you haven't completed it already is the Delverbot 7001. This toy takes you straight to the door of a random bountiful delve, so it really cuts down on travel time and it's going to be super useful in Season 3. Pretty much every achievement tied to the Underpin is also seasonal. You can get the My New Nemesis achievement for killing the Underpin on any difficulty, and that rewards you with the Golden Gob Propulsion Rig Back Transmog appearance. If you clear the higher difficulty, you'll earn the Breaking the Bank achievement, which rewards you with the Real Deal title. And then the big one is for defeating the Underpin on the higher difficulty all by yourself. So you gotta go in there solo. That's gonna earn you the Let Me Solo Him the Underpin achievement. That rewards you with the golden version of your Gobtrotter Delve mount. All of these rewards are a must-have for any aspiring goblin, so if you're up for a challenge to prove yourself, soloing the Underpin should definitely be on your to-do list. Then we also have the Overcharged Delves side system. The talent tree provides you with a lot of bonuses that make your delves easier, but none of this is going to carry over to Season 3 from what I can tell, so you don't have to worry about unlocking all of this for an actual power gain, but there is a special mount that you can earn. You can get the OC91 Chariot mount by unlocking all of the talent points in the Overcharged talent system, so you don't have to unlock this stuff for a Season 3 advantage, but if you want that mount, you'll need to get that done before Season 2 ends. You can also pick up the redeployment module Hearthstone toy by earning the Overcharged Delver achievement, which just requires completing 4 out of the 6 available Overcharged Delves, so that's an easy toy to pick up as well. Moving on, we also have quite a few raid rewards that will become unobtainable with the end of Season 2. You'll need to kill Gallywix on Heroic difficulty to get your hands on the Ahead of the Curve achievement, and then the Cutting Edge achievement requires you to kill the last boss on Mythic. Both of these achievements are only available until the end of the season, so we have a hard deadline to get those done with the release date announcement. It's also not a bad idea to look through the Raid Renown track to see if there are any rewards you might want to pick up. There are cosmetic rewards, titles, some very cool mounts, and a raid teleport to unlock, and if getting AOTC or Cutting Edge is on your bucket list, you definitely want all of the raid-wide buffs. These rewards shouldn't actually be going anywhere, but getting a raid group together to kill the bosses and earn the reputation will get harder as they become less relevant. I imagine the LFR queue itself will be insanely long after this season ends, so if you want these rewards, it's probably faster and more efficient to work on them now, and you can just kill some bosses in LFR each week to zoom through the renowned tracks. Over on the dungeon side of things, we have more seasonal rewards and achievements going away than usual. 1500 plus rating will reward you with the Keystone Conqueror achievement and the Enterprising title. 2000 rating will net you the Keystone Master achievement and the Crimson Shredder Tank mount, so that's a really cool pickup if you can get to 2k rating before the end of the season. And then if you can get to 2500 rating, you will get the Keystone Hero Season 2 achievement, which rewards the Galagio's High Roller Bomb Stone, which unlocks new visuals for your Season 2 class set appearances. If you can stretch a bit further, getting to 3000 rating will earn you the new Keystone Legend achievement and the Enterprising Shredder Tank mount. So you'll need to reach 3000 rating or higher this season if you want to unlock every seasonal reward on offer. And then we also have the Season 2 dungeon portals. If you complete a Keystone on +10 or above within time, you'll earn the Keystone Hero achievement for that specific dungeon, which rewards you with a special teleport spell that lets you teleport directly to that dungeon. These teleports can be useful for quickly getting to dungeons while the season is active, but they're also great for just moving around the world a bit faster, and they could be good for the future if you want to get back to some of these dungeons to do some transmog farming. Each teleport spell is also unlocked across your entire warband, so all of your ults will be able to use them right away. Most Season 2 dungeons will not be available in Season 3, so this will be the last chance to get some of these portal spells unlocked. If you want to do a little bit of preparation work for Season 3, it might also be worth taking a look at the Season 3 dungeon rotation and refamiliarizing yourself with the dungeons that are returning, especially the Tazavesh Mega Dungeon, because that will actually also be available as a hard mode Mythic Mega Dungeon, which can reward gear on par with Mythic plus 10 Keystones, so that's going to be huge for sure. So it may be worth popping back and running a few of the returning Season 3 dungeons once or twice to get a feel for them before the new season starts. Then there are also various PvP rewards going away with the end of the season as well. The Season 2 Gladiator mount and title is only available until the end of Season 2, so if you're aiming for that one, time is ticking. There's also the Vicious Electro Eel mount that you can earn by winning rated PvP matches, and the Elite PvP Transmog sets will be unavailable later on as well. You can get those by earning 1800 rating in rated PvP. All of these rewards are seasonal, so you don't have much longer to collect them. This is probably a good point to go over the seasonal currencies that will be getting reset as we head into patch 11.2 and Season 3. Pretty much all of your currencies under the Season 2 tab are going to be reset, so this includes all of your crests. We will have to earn crests all over again, so don't feel like you have to save any crests for the start of Season 3 or anything like that. The same goes for Valor Stones. They will be wiped clean when patch 11.2 goes live, so you can freely spend all of your crests and Valor Stones on gear upgrades right now. This also includes delve currencies like restored coffer keys and the undercoin currency, so stockpiling coffer keys isn't really going to do anything long term, so you can use those up to farm reputation or maybe some transmog items if you're still running delves, and I would look through the delve vendors to see if there's anything you might want to spend your undercoins on. You can't take them into Season 3, so you may as well spend whatever you've got. Now, patch 11.17 did introduce some new story content, and 0.7 patch story content is usually kind of a prologue for the next major patch, but that doesn't seem to be the case this time. The Red Dawn storyline doesn't seem to tie into patch 11.2 almost at all, so I wouldn't say you really have to get this done if you don't want to. I personally would still do it before the next patch arrives, just in case something does connect later on, and we're probably going to see more of this Red Dawn, either in the next 0.5 or 0.7 patch, and maybe even in the next expansion. But either way, they will probably return, so it would be nice to have the foundation for their story already done. So I would recommend you do the 11.17 story content if you haven't already, but I wouldn't necessarily say it's something that you need to focus on as a priority. Now, we also have a crazy amount of events going on right now, and some of them are expiring sooner than others, and some of them are arguably more impactful or more important than the others simply because we haven't seen them before. The Collector's Bounty will run until July 29th, and during this event you'll get twice the loot from any legacy content, which means twice the transmog unlocks while working through all dungeons and raids. Almost every dungeon or raid mount that drops from pre-Dragonflight content has also had its drop rates increased by about 5%, which is absolutely huge for some of these mounts, and the same goes for all the legendary items as well. So if you want to farm old transmog, mounts or legendary items, be sure you take advantage of this event almost as a priority. We've never seen drop rates increased like this before, so I would definitely grab as many rewards as you can while this event lasts. Then the Greedy Emissary event also ends on July 29th, so if you want to unlock any of the new tier 2 recolors, you want to start farming those pesky treasure goblins. You can also pick up special mounts like Anarius' Charger, so if you want any of the unique rewards from this event, we've got a pretty strict time limit on that as well. We also have the Turbulent Timeways event right now. This one runs until August 5th, and it provides a good experience bonus if you're wanting to level up some alts. You can also grab the Chrono Corsair mount if you run 4 time walking dungeons per week for 5 weeks, though there have been quite a few bugs for this achievement, so you may be able to get that mount much faster depending on how the achievement decides to behave for you. The event is also a good time to farm time walked badges and to pick up any time walking vendor rewards that you may be interested in. Now, one event that you'll want to look into before it disappears is the Dastardly Duos event. This one will only run until July 15th, so you don't have too much longer to grab the various rewards on offer there. You can pick up unique transmog options, various toys, and a turtle mount. You'll need to complete the weekly